7367.
Well, the ladies will be a hard act to follow, but at this time we have a toast from our best man, Christopher Howard.
Yeah, Chris!
Like he said, I'm the next special day. My name's Chris. I'd like to start by saying thank you everyone for being here tonight, especially everyone who came from out of town, and also to Bob and Liz Hemmer, as well as Bob and Mary Ann Schultz for putting together a great weekend. I know Zach and Natile really appreciate it. I actually knew Zach's brother Jeff first. We used to ride the bus home together from Wolf Branch, and I'd take a nap every day, and he'd wake me up once we got to my stop. And he'd always talk about his little brother that was the same age as me and how I needed to come down and meet him. Well, neither me or Zach actually remember meeting the first time, but it was sometime in 3rd grade, and we pretty much became best friends immediately. It's funny to look back at some of the ways we entertain ourselves growing up. Some of our favorite things to do were to have massive Lego and G.I. Joe wars, which we didn't quit playing with until we got to high school. Anyone that's seen pictures of us growing up, if you were at the rehearsal last night, would know that Zach was quite a bit larger than I was. And there were several games he liked to play to illustrate that point. One of his favorites was a game called Dead Tree Game. And he would pin me down on the ground, and then lay on top of me and say he's a dead tree. And it would obviously take me quite a while to sort my way out of that. Another one would be when it was time for me to go home for the day, we'd get up to the front door, and there was a little rug up there, and the object of this game was to knock both feet of the other person off the rug. I think Zach is still undefeated in that game. But despite all of that, I really couldn't have asked for a better friend growing up. We made it through high school still as best friends, and decided we weren't ready to part ways yet. So we went on to live all 4 years of college together, and 2 more years after college. So it's safe to say I have some inside knowledge when it comes to living with Zach. And I tried to come up with a list for you, Natile, of some annoying things that Zach does with me. But I couldn't think of that many. The best I could come up with are his obsession with Hollywood gossip that he reads in Star and Us Weekly magazines. And also, as long as you don't mind, his dog that has the sweet tooth for small electronics. But eventually we had to part ways as far as living together. And I think it was at that time when Zach realized that we weren't going to be able to be roommates for the rest of our life. And it was about 2 or 3 months after that he met Natile. And he met her up at Big Daddy's, a bar right down the street, which he absolutely despised to go to back then. So you're welcome for taking me along that night. We pulled out all the stops the first week. Dinners, movies, art galleries, museums. And luckily it didn't scare her off, and she was just as much as infatuated with him as he was with her. You really couldn't have found a better girl. You know I love you, Natile. You're fun to be around. You're pretty, smart, funny. You have goals in life, and you're great at board games. A couple things I can tell you about Zach, which I'm sure you already know, but in the 20 years that I've known him, he's never let me down once. He's always been there. He's one of the most genuine, selfless guys I know, and I know he's going to make a great husband. So if you could raise your glasses to Zach and Natile, at the beginning of a great life together.